In the last video we saw this law which associates a certain independent variable x, which in general could also be a vector in terms of components, so there could be more variables as inputs to a function f. It's this law which associates the input to the output, which is our dependent variable. In the next few lectures I would like to talk about single variable calculus. I will not consider multiple inputs to our function. Okay, so we have this law, and in general what one should do in engineering, in physics and mathematics is to try to evaluate this sort of law that we have. For instance, we could have the law y equal to x squared, or y equal to, for instance, e to the x, where in this case e is the base of the natural logarithm. It's just a number, it's an exponential law. It's a number approximately equal to 2.7. Okay, so this is an exponential law. But anyway, what I would like to say is that in general, when we have a function, we would like to evaluate the function at some particular points, or we would like to plot a graph, and this is usually done by computers. The plots are given by computers, and this is usually done by computers because it's faster, more efficient. But when we have to evaluate the function at some particular points, we should be able to do it ourselves. For instance, we would like to evaluate the function at some particular point because we want to evaluate the behavior of the dependent variable, how it changes if we change the independent variable. And another important thing we would like to do in general is to try to evaluate the rate of change of the dependent variable with respect to the dependent one. And that is what will lead us to talk about derivatives, because derivatives explain the rate of changes of variables. And this is also a concept related to limits, because derivatives are closely connected with limits. Derivatives are actually limits. So I would like to kill two birds with one stone and try to talk about derivatives, but we will refer to limits as well. Why are derivatives important? As I said, they describe the rate of change, but why is the rate of change important in general? The rate of change is very important because it usually explains for the dynamics of a system. A system can be described in mathematical terms, for example, using a simple function, but some other times it can be more complicated than that. Obviously, you should start from simple steps and try to extend your knowledge. Once you are acquiring more knowledge, you can become better, but one thing at a time. Dynamics are very important because the world around us changes all the time. It's a world made of dynamical systems. So it is very important to explain why things change with time. In physics, this is also very important because if we have some laws of nature, we can use the same laws of nature to foresee what's going to happen in the future. So it's a very powerful concept. So let me start with introducing derivatives. This is not a rigorous mathematical course. I want to give you the key ideas, the key concepts, so that you can understand better. So let's start with derivatives. Let's define what a derivative is. We define, for example, the derivative of the function y. So we speak of derivatives of a function. We have y, which is equal to f of x. Sometimes it can also be written as y of x, because y depends on x. It can also be written like this, okay? And if you want to compute the derivative, you have to associate a symbol to the derivative itself. There are several symbols which are used. In general, the derivative can be represented as y prime, okay? This is the symbol to denote the derivative of y with respect to x. And some other times, there are other symbols. We can use the symbol dy over dx, where the derivative operator is the symbol d over dx. And we'll try to explain what is this kind of symbol, why it's used. This is pretty easy. We just put a prime on our variable, like a superscript. Well, in this case, we should try to focus on this symbol as well, because it has some meanings, and it's rather important in engineering and physics. Okay, this is just a symbol. It's notation, but what is in general the derivative of y with respect to x calculated at the point x? What is that? How could we define that? This is defined in the following manner. It's defined like the function y computed at the point x plus a small increment delta x. By delta x I mean a small increment of the variable x. And we should subtract the function computed at the point x. This is just a difference. You can guess that if delta x is rather small, this difference will be pretty small, right? For instance, if delta x is 0, we would have y of x minus y of x, so that's 0. And if delta x is pretty small, this quantity will be pretty small as well. This is what we expect. We divide this difference by delta x, because if delta x is small, in this case we get the relative change of the variable with respect to x. If delta x is small, this quantity can be even pretty huge, even if delta x is small, because in this case we are dividing by a small quantity. If this is a small quantity divided by a small quantity can give us a huge number. This definition is rigorously true if we compute the limit as delta x goes to 0. Okay, this is just a notation to denote that delta x must be very small in our definition. And some other times, instead of writing this symbolic notation, which is rather cumbersome, we can simply write it like this: y of x plus, instead of writing this delta, this Greek letter delta, we write simply a d, okay, dx minus y of x divided by dx. Okay, this is another definition in which dx is simply the limit as delta x goes to 0 of delta x. Let's say that as delta x goes to 0, it is very, very small, it's an infinitesimal quantity. Then we just simply use this symbolic notation to denote that that quantity is very small. And we will apply these definitions in the next few lectures to try to calculate and compute derivatives of functions. But we will dig deeper as to what is this sort of symbol, and we'll try to explain and also attribute a significance to this definition in terms of visual representation, which would be more helpful.